If you've ever been fascinated by space exploration, you probably think of Europa, the icy moon of Jupiter, as one of the most promising places to search for life beyond Earth. But what if I told you stepping onto Europa's surface wouldn't be the triumphant moment you imagine? Instead, it could be the beginning of a slow, terrifying nightmare no one wants to admit. Right now, scientists are racing to uncover secrets hidden beneath Europa's frozen crust. But there's a chilling reality they won't show you. Something so dangerous it could turn a mission of hope into a fight for survival. Today, I'm going to take you deep into this eerie mystery, revealing the nightmare lurking beneath the ice, why Europa's environment is far more hostile than you think, and what might happen to anyone who dares to set foot there. You came here for answers, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll see Europa not as a new frontier, but as a ticking time bomb of cosmic horror. Stay with me because what you're about to discover will challenge everything you believe about space travel, and it might just change how you see our place in the universe forever. But before we dive into the darkest corners of Europa, there's one key secret the experts desperately want to keep hidden, something that could shatter the future of human exploration in space. Ready to find out what that is? Let's begin. Europa has always captured the imagination of dreamers and scientists alike, but few really grasp what lies beneath its dazzling white shell. The frozen surface you see in pictures isn't just a static, icy desert. It's a shield holding back an ocean of crushing, pitch-black water beneath, an alien sea that might be home to unimaginable life forms. But the dream of finding life, there comes with a terrifying catch. One so subtle yet so deadly that it threatens to unravel every hope pinned on this tiny moon. To truly understand why Europa could be a death trap, you need to look beyond the surface and step inside the minds of those racing against time. The scientists, astronauts, and engineers whose lives are entwined with the mystery of this distant world. Take the team behind the latest Europa Clipper mission. They're not just researchers. They're pioneers standing on the edge of human history. Each of them brings a unique perspective. There's the mission lead, who has dedicated decades to studying icy worlds, haunted by a personal loss that drives her obsession to uncover life beyond Earth. Then there's the systems engineer, a skeptic who trusts only data, but can't shake the feeling that Europa is hiding something far darker than ice and water. Alongside them, a young biologist dreams of discovering alien microbes, blissfully unaware that some discoveries might carry a price no one expected. As this crew prepares to send probes and maybe one day boots to Europa's surface, their conversations reveal a growing tension. Is Europa really safe? Could those plumes of vapor spewing through the cracks in the ice carry deadly pathogens? How will radiation from Jupiter's magnetic field affect human explorers? These aren't just scientific questions, they're questions of life and death. In the shadow of their debate lies a secret buried deep in the data archives, a set of mysterious signals picked up decades ago, but never fully explained. Some believe these signals could be a warning, others think it's a cosmic invitation. But what if it's something else entirely, something that should have stayed silent? Meanwhile, back on Earth, a controversial group of space ethicists are arguing fiercely over the implications of sending humans to Europa. They question whether humanity should risk contaminating one of the universe's last untouched places, potentially unleashing something catastrophic on Earth, or losing a pristine environment to our mistakes. Their heated debates spill into public forums, stirring fears and conspiracies among the general population. Blurring the lines between caution and paranoia, social media explodes with viral videos and conflicting opinions, flooding searches for Europa dangers, alien life risks, and space mission disasters, drawing millions into the controversy. The public's fascination turns into dread, and suddenly the mission isn't just a scientific endeavor, it's a psychological battlefield. Amidst this global tension, a hidden faction within a private space agency is quietly pushing its own agenda. They want to accelerate human presence on Europa no matter the risks, driven by a mix of ambition, profit, and a belief that the first to claim extraterrestrial resources will dominate the next era of civilization. Their insiders whisper about advanced technology that can shield explorers from radiation and even neutralize alien microbes. But no one outside their circle knows if these claims are fact or fiction. The potential for a corporate space race adds yet another layer of mystery and danger, turning the dream of exploration into a high-stakes gamble. At the heart of this unfolding drama lies Europa itself, a world as beautiful as it is deadly. Its ice crust is fractured and shifting, cracked by forces no one fully understands. Beneath the surface, tidal forces churn an ocean kept liquid by the giant pull of Jupiter's gravity, creating conditions where strange life might thrive, or where lethal dangers could lurk. New data from orbiting probes reveals bizarre chemical signatures, unexplained heat spots, and eerie electromagnetic anomalies that defy easy explanation. Scientists are puzzled, divided between hope and fear. Some believe these signs could indicate life. Others warn they could be signals of hostile environments or worse, something unknown and hostile that could react to human presence in ways we can't predict. But perhaps the most unnerving aspect is what happened to a secret early mission, one that never made headlines. Files recently leaked describe how a robotic lander sent to Europa's surface stopped transmitting after a few hours, with telemetry showing rapid system failures and radiation spikes inconsistent with known hazards. Speculation is rampant. Was it a technical glitch, or did something on Europa's surface disable it? Some insiders hint at a possibility no one dares say aloud, that Europa might possess a biological defense mechanism, a slow-acting threat that could infect or incapacitate anything that lands on it. If true, this nightmare scenario would mean every step humans take on Europa risks triggering an irreversible disaster, a slow death that no one can escape once it begins. This story isn't just about space missions or scientific data. It's about humanity's relentless urge to explore, even when the odds seem stacked against us. It's about the psychological tension between hope and fear, the drive to discover life beyond Earth, against the terrifying possibility that some worlds are better left alone. As you watch, you'll see the intertwined fates of those pushing forward, the unknown dangers hiding beneath the ice, and the haunting question that lingers. When you step onto Europa, what will you really be stepping into? The answer is closer than you think, and it's a truth that might haunt us all. But what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew about space exploration, and the cost of reaching for the stars. As the Europa Clipper mission edged closer to its critical phase, tension rippled through the corridors of mission control and across scientific communities worldwide. Every new dataset sent back from orbit peeled away another layer of the moon's icy facade, revealing patterns of radiation and chemical reactions that defied expectations. What was initially hailed as a beacon of hope, a potential cradle of extraterrestrial life, was becoming a puzzle of increasing complexity and danger. The mysterious plumes erupting from Europa's surface, once thought to be harmless water vapor, now carried microscopic particles that triggered alarms in labs studying their composition. These particles bore traces of unknown organic compounds, but alongside them were chemical signatures that resembled toxins, compounds known on Earth to slowly degrade cellular structures. The duality of life-bearing elements mixed with harmful agents was baffling, forcing experts to reconsider the risks of landing humans there. This revelation sent shockwaves through the space exploration community, igniting fierce debates about the mission's safety and ethics. Within the control rooms, voices cracked under stress as new scenarios were modeled to anticipate the impact of exposure. The chief biologist, once optimistic and hopeful, grew visibly pale as data showed the potential for a slow-acting biological agent, something that could enter a body, multiply unseen, and degrade tissue over weeks or months. Her dream of discovering life had been overshadowed by a creeping nightmare. What if that life was hostile, or worse? What if it was not life at all, but a cosmic defense mechanism evolved to protect Europa's ecosystem? This growing fear rippled beyond scientific circles, triggering urgent meetings with international space agencies and ethics boards. Discussion shifted from exploration to containment, raising questions that had never before surfaced in human space travel. Could bringing back samples or even footprints expose Earth to alien pathogens? Would humanity be prepared for the psychological and physical consequences of contamination? Meanwhile, hidden behind the public debates and scientific papers, the private agency pushing for faster Europa colonization accelerated its clandestine project. Their top engineers were testing prototypes of radiation-shielding suits and biochemical filters designed to protect explorers, but their tests revealed troubling inconsistencies. Several test subjects showed unexplained symptoms resembling slow cellular decay, and instruments recorded anomalous readings around simulated Europa samples. Officials dismissed these signs as experimental errors, but some insiders grew uneasy. Whispers of suppressed reports and altered test results began leaking to underground forums, stirring speculation of a cover-up. The agency's director, however, remained adamant that humanity could overcome any obstacle, believing the rewards outweighed the risks. This ideological divide between cautious scientists and ambitious industrialists deepened the conflict, framing the mission as a battleground between preservation and progress. As the countdown to Europa's surface landing drew nearer, the psychological toll on those involved intensified. Astronauts training for the mission wrestled with unease that no amount of preparation seemed to ease. One astronaut confided in her journal about nightmares where the ice cracked beneath her feet, revealing endless blackness below and whispering voices emanating from the depths. These personal struggles underscored a growing awareness. Europa was not just a physical challenge, but a mental one, an alien world that could unravel human confidence and sanity. Across Earth, media coverage fed public fascination and fear alike, flooding social platforms with trending searches like Europa space mission dangers, alien microbes on Europa, and Jupiter moon radiation risks. Conspiracy theories mingled with expert analysis, turning the mission into a global spectacle and psychological pressure cooker. Then, just when the mission seemed poised on the knife's edge between cautious hope and paralyzing dread, an unexpected discovery shattered all assumptions. One of the probes orbiting Europa detected a sudden, intense burst of energy, far beyond any natural electromagnetic phenomenon previously recorded. The source appeared deep beneath the ice, emanating from a region long thought inactive. Follow-up scans revealed strange, rhythmic pulses that resembled communication signals or biological patterns, but no known form of life or geological process could explain them. This anomaly sent shockwaves through the scientific community, reigniting debates and dividing experts. Some argued this was the first direct sign of intelligent life, a cosmic message waiting to be decoded. Others warned it was a defensive response, a warning, or even a weapon triggered by the probe's presence. The psychological stakes soared as humanity faced the terrifying possibility that Europa wasn't just a passive world, but a conscious, reactive entity. Amidst this turmoil, a young data analyst who had spent months quietly studying the signals uncovered a chilling pattern. Hidden in the pulses was a sequence matching Earth's own mathematical constants, yet interspersed with intervals that suggested biological decay cycles. This cryptic code implied not only intelligence but a warning encoded in a language of science and survival. The analyst tried to alert mission leaders, only to be met with skepticism and denial. Fearing a cover-up, she took it upon herself to investigate further, connecting dots between leaked files, unexplained probe failures, and reports of odd microbial growth in test samples. Her discoveries hinted at a horrifying twist. The life forms beneath Europa's ice might not just be hostile, they might be engineered, an ancient biodefense system designed to eliminate intruders slowly but inevitably. As this realization settled, the conflict erupted into a broader crisis. Earth's governments faced intense pressure from the private sector to push ahead, while public fear demanded a halt. Social unrest grew, amplified by viral videos claiming Europa missions were suicide missions cloaked in scientific ambition. The mission team fractured under the weight of competing agendas, ethical dilemmas, and personal fears. One senior scientist, haunted by memories of lost colleagues in past space disasters, publicly questioned whether humanity was ready to play cosmic explorers or if it was rushing blindly toward destruction. The private agency's director countered with fiery speeches about human destiny and the cost of stagnation, vowing to proceed regardless of opposition. Beneath the ice, Europa's ocean churned with unseen forces, biological or otherwise, as if aware of the looming intrusion. Each new signal pulse seemed to grow stronger, as if reacting to the probes and humans alike. The moon's icy crust shifted, generating quakes that sent tremors through the orbiting satellite's instruments. Time was running out, and the question hung heavier than ever. What would happen if humans crossed that frozen threshold? Would they bring back knowledge or catastrophe? The nightmare scientists tried to hide was no longer theoretical. It was pulsing, alive, and waiting. And then, just as the mission team prepared to initiate the landing sequence, a sudden unexplained blackout cut communications between Earth and the orbiting spacecraft. Screens flickered with garbled signals before going dark, leaving mission control in stunned silence. Was this a technical failure, or something more sinister? The next moments would decide the fate of humanity's greatest leap into the unknown, and the secret lurking beneath Europa's ice was ready to reveal itself in a way no one saw coming. The silence that fell over mission control after the blackout was suffocating. For what felt like an eternity, every technician, scientist, and official waited with bated breath, staring at the dark screens that once streamed vital data from Europa. Then, as if from the void itself, a faint signal pierced the darkness, a pulse not of machines, but something far more complex, layered with enigmatic code. The signal wasn't merely a glitch, it was a message, an urgent communication encoded in bursts of electromagnetic waves, pulsing with a pattern too deliberate to ignore. Specialists who had spent years decoding alien languages raced to interpret the sequence. What they uncovered shattered every expectation. It was a warning, a complex algorithm woven into the cosmic fabric, urging humanity to stop before crossing an invisible boundary beneath the ice. The message implied that the moon's ocean harbored not just life, but a form of intelligence older than Earth itself, evolved not to welcome, but to repel. This revelation sent shockwaves that rippled far beyond the halls of NASA and international space agencies, igniting a firestorm of debate on global platforms. Was humanity about to become an invader on a world that had already claimed dominion over its fragile biosphere? The very idea that Europa could defend itself, using biochemical and electromagnetic defenses that degrade life slowly, plunged the mission into moral and existential crisis. The public, caught between fascination and fear, turned to viral streams and trending searches like Europa Danger, Alien Defense System, and Space Mission Ethical Dilemma, filling the digital world with anxiety and speculation. The mission's lead scientist, a figure revered for decades, faced the hardest choice of her career: to push forward into the unknown or heed the warning etched in alien code and retreat. As days passed, further anomalies deepened the mystery. The ocean beneath Europa's ice exhibited shifting magnetic fields, causing instruments to falter, while probes sent to collect samples returned corrupted data, their recordings distorted by unseen interference. Meanwhile, those brave few who had trained for the surface landing struggled with a creeping dread, their dreams invaded by visions of ice fracturing to reveal vast, dark waters teeming with shapes that defied earthly biology. One astronaut, documenting her fears in a private log, described hearing what she called the whispers of the abyss, sounds so faint yet profoundly unsettling, as if Europa's very soul was crying out to warn humanity away. In a dramatic turn, a faction within the mission's private backers attempted to seize control, determined to push the landing forward despite the risks. Their plans were thwarted only when an emergency meeting convened by world leaders and space ethics councils imposed a moratorium, demanding the mission's suspension pending further study. This political standoff underscored the high stakes, illustrating a world divided not just by science but by ideology. The pursuit of knowledge weighed against the risk of annihilation. The very air in the control rooms was thick with tension as the team awaited new orders. The weight of humanity's fate balanced on a knife's edge. Then came the breakthrough. The young data analyst who had previously uncovered the encoded warning decoded a hidden second message, a pattern buried beneath the warning pulses that revealed a remarkable truth. Europa's ocean was home to a sentient ecosystem, a vast, collective consciousness that communicated through electromagnetic pulses and biochemical signals. This intelligence had evolved over billions of years, a silent guardian of its domain, capable of influencing physical matter and even the probes sent to invade its realm. More astonishingly, it was neither malevolent nor benevolent, but fiercely protective, its defense mechanisms triggered by the probing presence of humans. The slow biochemical decay identified earlier was a defensive response, a mechanism evolved to deter biological contamination and preserve the sanctity of the ecosystem. Faced with this truth, the mission's leadership grappled with an unprecedented dilemma: to respect the boundaries set by an alien consciousness, or to defy it in the name of human progress. The lead scientist, after sleepless nights and emotional turmoil, addressed the world in a live broadcast, urging caution and reflection. Her words resonated deeply, reminding humanity that exploration carried responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to the cosmic neighbors we might encounter. The broadcast sparked a global movement advocating for peaceful coexistence with unknown life, changing the narrative from conquest to stewardship. Just as the world seemed ready to accept this fragile truce, an unexpected twist emerged. The Europa Clipper's last transmission before blackout was decoded in full. Embedded within was a hidden data packet, revealing the presence of microbial life forms unlike any seen before. These microbes exhibited an ability to rapidly adapt and evolve, communicating through biochemical signals that mimicked human neural patterns. Even more chilling, some strains showed signs of genetic material that could integrate with human DNA, hinting at a possibility that contact might not just be physical, but biological and psychological. This raised a haunting question. Could these microbes alter the very essence of human identity, rewriting what it meant to be human? The implications sent a shiver through the scientific community and general public alike, fueling viral discussions on alien microbes' DNA integration, Europa infection risks, and space life transformation. The mission's climactic moment arrived when a small team of astronauts finally descended onto Europa's icy surface under heavy debate and with unprecedented precautions. Their landing site was a shimmering fracture revealing the ocean below. World bathed in cold alien light and resonating with subtle electromagnetic hums. What they discovered was breathtaking. Bioluminescent organisms drifting in the water, complex ecosystems thriving in perpetual darkness, and structures that hinted at natural intelligence but also at an ancient purpose beyond human comprehension. Yet with every step, the explorers felt the slow, invisible effects of the moon's defense mechanism: fatigue, disorientation, and subtle cellular changes that whispered of decay. Their mission rapidly transformed from exploration into survival. Back on Earth, the team's transmissions cut off abruptly, replaced by static and eerie pulses mirroring the alien signals. A desperate rescue operation was launched, but the message was clear. Europa was not just a frontier to conquer. It was a living entity with a will to protect itself, capable of altering human destiny. In the final moments of contact, the astronauts transmitted one last cryptic message, urging humanity to remember the lesson. Some doors are meant to remain closed, some worlds too dangerous to tread without respect. The story closed not with answers but with profound questions, leaving viewers pondering the limits of exploration, the nature of life, and humanity's place in the universe. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of inner strength and resilience. Until next time, stay strong, stay brave, and never forget your worth.